My name is Austin Boyajian.
One,
2,
3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9.
So today we're going to go into the aspect of how social media creates a harmful and toxic environment for our youth. To begin, we'll go ahead and talk about cyberbullying and its exponential growth in these past few years. We'll also explain some suicide rates and the upward trend in those since this last decade. Finally, I'll go ahead and talk about copycatism and the concern that causes with our youth that is on social media as well. To begin, I'll show you how cyberbullying can create such a toxic environment for our youth on social media. We're first going to go ahead and dive into a government source. It's going to be stopbullying.org. In their study, they stated that kids who are bullied are more likely to experience depression, anxiety, GPA drops, unusual sleep patterns, loss of interest in activities that they enjoyed before. On the flip side of that, there was another study done by them. It was about the kids who were doing the bullying. They were more likely to experience alcoholism, drug abuse, fights, as well as domestic abuse later down the road in their lives. Another reason that only further shows that social media can be harmful for our youth is the correlation between mental health and social media usage. A study done by Royal Society Survey showed that teens who were to use Snapchat, Facebook, etc., increased mental health issues were experienced from those. That was a survey, so they were able to input their own, and it was their own feelings. There was no murky waters in there. That's how they were feeling themselves. The second little point of evidence for those suicide rates were an Association for Psychological Science study showed that in 2010 to 2015, grades 8 through 12 had increased suicide rates as well. This had to do with an increase in suicide rates along with those time periods. That suicide rate was also found higher in females as well that were along that age line. My final point is going to be about copycatism. This is something that's spreading like wildfire across our social media platforms. We've all heard about stuff such as the Cinnamon Challenge. It could be as innocent as that to as extreme as people committing mass shootings based off of other ones because they want to get their name out there. According to the Canadian Journal, suicide rates spiked after Robin Williams committed suicide as well. That not only occurred in Canada, but in the United States as well. They saw both of those trends. Those were the only two countries that were surveyed in that, so I'm sure it spiked in places such as the UK or even other countries as well. The next point to go ahead and back up that copycatism would be a study done by the American Journal of Public Health. They talk about copycatism with mass shootings. There's been a lot of copying, and there's been a lot of measures taken to prevent that, such as hiding the shooter's name, not giving them the fame and the notoriety that they want out there. In their study, they showed that one mass shooting takes place every 12.5 days in the United States. It's a very sad number, but that's the reality of it. So today I tried to convince you how toxic social media can be for our youth and the dive-ins that they can take, whether it's noticed or not, or evident or not. They are things that can occur, all three of them. So I first showed you about cyberbullying and the evidence to back that up as well. Next, I explained the suicide rates and the correlation between social media and mental health and how that screen time can take an effect on that youth. And finally, I showed you copycatism and the way that everybody just wants to do what everybody else is doing. I don't know why, but the human race tends to just do what everybody else is doing, following the trend.
One,
2,
3, 4, 5,
6, 7, 8, 9.